Welcome back, YouTubers, to yet another Wednesday video of us, the British Fist. In a continuation of our last week's video, we are wearing the same clothes. I am Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me is none other than the Right and Honourable NJ.
What's up?
This guy should be given a knighthood. Hashtag that and campaign for that down in the comment section below. Make sure you guys subscribe above, of course, like this video and comment your thoughts on what we're going to be talking about in this video down in that comment section below.
Make sure you contact us in the link in the description box below.
Yes, definitely do. Now, as in a continuation from last week's video where we talked about WWE's, we talked about the Slammies that WWE gave us and who we would have picked. If you haven't seen that video already that we did last week, it'll be in that description box below if you want to check it out. In this week's video, like we said we were going to do last week, a continuation of last week, we're going to make our own categories of Slammies, and we're going to choose the winners. And also, we're going to let you guys, you know, if you guys want to choose your own different winners for these categories, get them down in that comment section below. The information will be in the description box if you want to know all the categories and winners that we picked.
It would be interesting to see what you guys think, so please do leave a comment in the comment section below.
Yes, indeed. And if you want to do a video response with your answers or with your thoughts, give us one. We will accept video responses, guys, and we'll watch them too. Right, so the first category we did for our our own little Slammies, the version of the WWE Slammies, as well as the ones we did on Raw we did last week, which was amazing. PPV of the Year is the first category for us, and I think there's only one here we can really pick, isn't there?
Well, the big problem with this is that the year hasn't been great for pay-per-views. They've not been the best of what I was hoping for, but Money in the Bank win it by far. Money
in the Bank stood out mainly because of that John Cena CM Punk storyline. I knew I was going to say Punk. I was about to say Mark Henry. The CM Punk John Cena storyline and the whole CM Punk versus WWE with his contract running out, you know, was a great storyline, a great main event, a great match, and overall a fantastic segment in terms of story, reaction, and we were really into this match. And it was also helped by the fact you have two Money in the Bank ladder matches, which usually deliver a very good wrestling match, and you know, these basically are great ladder matches, aren't they?
Well, the thing about this is that you had the surprise from CM Punk, which was awesome. The Alberto Del Rio cash-in that added more to the match. Yeah. You have Daniel Bryan, who, of course, at the time, we thought he was a great winner. Because SmackDown needs like a face main event because of all the heels that play.
Now they've got Sheamus, though.
Yeah, so I guess it was just memorable for that match.
Yeah.
As well.
And we also had Mark Henry, you know, the start of Mark Henry's heel turn, and we had him against Sheamus in there as well. The Divas match was a big crap. Orton and Christian, while it was an okay match, I didn't like the finish, but overall, this had the biggest surprise of the year, which really brings it up. The two Money in the Bank ladder matches usually do deliver. So overall, it was probably the best pay-per-view of the year. Not saying it was the best pay-per-view ever, but it was definitely the best pay-per-view of the year, in my opinion, in terms of reaction and the way it got people talking and stuff.
And it had its moments that WWE fans are going to remember, so that's very good.
Indeed. Next category we have is Reaction of the Year. Now, we both have two different answers for this. I'll let you go first, NJ.
My Reaction of the Year, just because, obviously, it was a surprise to have him come back after his long 7 years disappearance. That's none other than Rock returning.
Yeah, definitely. That was a big reaction for Rock, especially the promo he cut and the reaction he got from the crowd. My personal moment, because I didn't really want to say Rock's return, I wanted to stick with something from the current product. Chicago crowd at Money in the Bank was fantastic. When CM Punk came out, the reaction was fantastic, and they booed the fuck out of Cena, and it was a great crowd for that moment. Just with the story and everything, it was a great crowd.
And with the crowd not being so great all the time, this made this pay-per-view extra special.
Yeah. They're both fantastic reaction moments. Rock because of the nostalgia, Chicago because of the story and the whole thing about CM Punk. So they're both worthy of it. Again, if you guys have any other suggestions, put them in the comment section below for each of these categories we do. But NJ, you thought The Rock, I thought Chicago crowd at Money in the Bank. So there we go. Even though we're a team, we sometimes have separate opinions, don't we?
Indeed, mate.
There we go. Breakout Star of the Year. Now, me and NJ both agreed on this one, as we are for most of these, that this has to be Del Rio, doesn't it?
Of course it does, mate.
Started out... Thanks for that. Well, start calling me fella. Thanks to Breakout Star of the Year, it has to be Del Rio, in my opinion. You guys may have other opinions, but this guy was a rookie last year. He came in very strongly. He won Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank. So to go from a rookie to being put in that main event spot and being really liked by Vince McMahon and having the confidence to really book him, not brilliantly, but book him to at least give him a title shot, he kind of has to be Breakout Star of the Year. Going from rookie to WWE champion in 1 year, that is pretty amazing.
The big thing is that he won the Royal Rumble, which he was meant to, because obviously that was meant to be his push to the top. Yeah, of course. And then he had the growth going afterwards, but it kind of slid down as it grew. And to be honest, just because of his Royal Rumble win and his going towards the W title, he deserves this.
But even if you just look at the fact that where he is now to where he was when he sort of began the year, I mean, he's really grown since, especially since he was a rookie last year. I mean, Breakout Star of the Year has to be Del Rio, in my opinion. Mid-Carder of the Year, a very prestigious award, mainly because, in my opinion, I always look out for mid-carders. Not just that, but my boy won the award this year. We had to both agree on this one. Mid-Carder of the Year had to be Cody Rhodes, didn't it?
With all the other mid-carders that seems to fail at doing their job, like Ziggler, it has to be going for Cody, because obviously after his rise from Orton and all that in the past, he definitely became a unique character for himself. I
mean, he's won the IC title belt. He was involved with a feud of Orton. He got a win over Orton on Raw, I believe, or SmackDown. He was involved with Rey Mysterio at the start of the year. You know, he's still involved in Money in the Bank. So to me, this guy is definitely the mid-card of the year. I mean, I would have put him across for Breakout Star of the Year, because I think it's been a very good year for Cody Rhodes. But I do think, in terms of stature and in terms of where it's gone, Del Rio deserves to win that award, and Cody Rhodes definitely, even though I'm a Cody Rhodes mark, he definitely had to win Mid-Card of the Year. I mean, he's been a fantastic IC champion so far.
And there's the whole rumour that he's going to go towards the main event, so having him progress like he is, it's a good thing for him to do.
Yes, going straight from a prestigious award to a not-so-prestigious award. Tag Team of the Year. We know that although WWE don't really do too much tag team wrestling anymore, we still felt there was a place for this, because Awesome Truth deserved to win this award for their impact they had.
Remix! You suck! Yes.
I'm a bad is up. Little Jimmy going there, pain is up. You suck!
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 Okay, I don't know the rest of the words.
But there we go. They deserve it, because obviously they had the unique character. It was great for them. And I know Archie's disappearance for out of his injury and all that. But again, this did wonders for both, and hopefully it will when he comes back.
And let's face it, they had the biggest tag team impact. They had that impact at Hell in a Cell with the whole walkout storyline. They were involved with Rock and Cena. So in terms of a tag team, they were the best thing WWE had for a tag team, really, weren't they? Better than Air Boom.
Instead of getting just involved in tag team, they got involved in main events, important matches in pay-per-views. So they did a great job.
Face of the Year award, NJ. Not giving it to Cena or Orton this year.
No, we are not.
No, we're going to give it to a young guy. This is the kind of stuff WWE should be doing, giving pushes to younger guys. And this year I felt it had to go to Sheamus. Even though he wasn't faced the whole year, he's now been turned, despite the fact that he's not in a feud at the moment, he's now been turned into a guy that I really feel could challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Because yes, he hasn't had the best run in the past, like that whole King of the Ring curse thing. And then he progressed on to becoming a strong face, and he definitely made a name for himself. He's going to get put into the main event just because of how good he is.
Yeah, so Sheamus winning Face of the Year for me had to be. I mean, I just didn't want to give it to Sheamus and Orton. Orton and Cena, and Sheamus was the next big thing, especially on SmackDown as well, which has, especially after they give the Money in the Bank to Daniel Bryan, you didn't really expect Sheamus to really come through as that massive babyface. He gets fantastic reactions now.
And that's exactly what WWE needed. They're going to make possible mid-carders up to main events and long-term main eventers.
Heel of the Year award. I think this is pretty obvious. There have been a lot of good heels in WWE this year. We've had, The Miz, Cody Rhodes to a certain degree. But in terms of the way he's been booked, it just has to be Mark Henry, doesn't it? Heel of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you say?
What I'm saying about Mark Henry is that, obviously, in the past, he's been seen as a face and all that. You wouldn't picture him as a heel. He'd become a strong heel. You would never picture him as World Heavyweight Champion, but the WWE took the risk of making him it. They've proven it was a good job to do. And
they've made him a monster heel, and he's now the biggest heel on SmackDown, really, isn't he? Apart from maybe now Wade Barrett, but that's only just coming now. So in terms of heel, even though he started off as a face, the heel turn was done well, and then they really did start building him up very gradually to that main event slot. And when he got that main event slot, he took it, and that's why I'm giving him Heel of the Year.
I think he deserves it, because there's going to be more for him in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, Impact of the Year is the next award. Now, what would you think, NJ, is the Impact of the Year? I know we have separate opinions on this one.
Impact of the Year? I'm probably going to say it was the whole Punk thing, really.
Yeah. Got people talking, didn't it? Definitely a big impact.
Yeah, because obviously he just came out and just said what was needed to be said by a wrestler, and Punk was the right one to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that got people talking the whole summer. So in terms of impact and the way it affected the business and the way that affected the way the business could have gone, but they dropped the ball with it a little bit. Punk's promo, all the Money in the Bank stuff was Impact of the Year. The summer of Punk was the sort of biggest impact. You could also argue the whole Rock at WrestleMania thing was a massive impact, because at the time, people weren't expecting it, and you had Rock as this massive superstar making a big impact going into WrestleMania. You could argue that, but I do think Punk deserves Impact of the Year.
Punk definitely left a big mark in the WWE. It's going to be remembered in 2011 when we head into 2012. So it was a good moment.
Now we go on to two very big very big categories in my opinion. The first of which is Feud of the Year. Now, in my opinion, last year we thought Nexus Cena, Wade Barrett Cena was an obvious choice. Now, this year there was an obvious choice, but I just want to take this time to say that, in my opinion, I was looking back at this and I didn't really think we had many good feuds this year.
No, we spoke about some, but they weren't kind of big feuds that actually leave a mark. But obviously, the main one that stood out was the whole Punk thing again.
Yeah, the Punk, what you want to call it, Punk versus WWE, Punk versus Cena. I mean, again, the Summer of Punk was a great moment for us wrestling fans, as it did feel real at the time, and it has to be. It's probably the best, even though it wasn't very long. The whole him taking the title thing, it has to be Feud of the Year just because of the impact it made. I mean, I know they kind of dropped the ball a bit now a little bit, but that little thing there with him versus Vince McMahon and Cena was massive.
It was really big because obviously we were all behind the WWE title, behind John Cena, or some of us weren't.
Yeah.
And with Punk getting involved, it definitely dragged more fans on his side and agreed with what he was doing, what he said. So it's very Feud of the Year.
And look what it's done for Punk. It's changed Punk from a guy who really wasn't even on the Raw thing. I mean, I know it was a shoot, but now look where he is. He's now been really over with the crowd. So for me, this Feud of the Year, another reason, because it's done so well for CM Punk. Even though they kind of dropped the ball a lot with him, he's still now a guy who could really be a big player for WWE, especially as a tweener type character.
And I do look forward for more coming from Punk, and hopefully maybe in the next year he'll progress onto more feuds.
Again, if you guys have any feuds that you might remember, like Mark Henry Big Show, for example, could be a contender. Some people might think Orton and Christian is a contender, or other people may think Rey Mysterio and Cody Rhodes is a contender, possibly. If you have any thoughts, get them in that comment section. There are a lot out there. Just we think this had the best. We just think this was the best one in terms of the talk and everything, the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And now for probably the most prestigious one of the year. That's Match of the Year. Now, it is very rarely that we do get a fantastic match, in the year. So this award can only really go to one of two matches, in my opinion. I mean, I think we're going to both agree on one, but we're going to argue maybe one more. Well,
there's the whole Punk and Cena, which we spoke about many times tonight.
Yeah.
But there's also the biggest of the one, Triple H and Taker.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Match of the Year, I mean, the match that would be labelled 5-star, just because of the story, just because of the whole story and the whole Punk, his contract ending and him taking the WWE title away from WWE, that was something really big. So for me, the Punk Cena match, even though, none of these two matches were fantastic technical clinics, it was the story. It was all that kind of story psychology, which what made it a big match, especially in the Taker Triple H match, which had fantastic psychology.
The thing about this is it could go either way. They both put on matches that people were talking about afterwards. They were wondering what's going to happen next. And overall, it's hard to pick which one is, but I think I'm leaning towards more Punk and Cena for the outcome.
So am I. I mean, the outcome of Punk taking the title was amazing. I mean, you kind of knew Taker was going to win the match, but the way it went down was very good, and the way they worked the match, especially, with Triple H's psychology in that match, was very good. The way they worked the match was fantastic.
Because we did hear on Raw that Triple H won an award for his match there, because I've been Tombstone and Undertaker.
Yeah.
So that has big moments itself, but I'm leaning more towards Punk, just because it had the whole W title on the line and Vince's feelings towards this match.
Yeah, so Punk, Cena, and Triple H and Taker followed very closely behind. You guys may have some other opinions, but we think Punk and Cena has to be Match of the Year. It really does, for WWE especially. So that's... Have you got any more you want to say about those matches, Andy? Because they were two fantastic matches, especially one at Money in the Bank, which really got us talking. Live reactions video was amazing because of that match.
Very much true. So all we can say is that it seems like this year hasn't been the best, but we've named what we thought were the moments in the whole year.
Yep. So guys, tell us in the comment section below what you thought of our Slammies. We'll put all the categories and winners down in the description box below, of course, so you guys can give us your opinions on who you think maybe could have won some of these Slammies, or give us your opinions on what we thought could win the Slammies. So thank you very much for watching this, guys, and I'm going to continue on. NJ here.
All I can say is please leave your comments in the comment section below. Make a video response because it'd be good to see and hear what you have to say about the Slammies. And all I can say now from the British Fist is thank you very much for watching. From Mr. Parkin and me, NJ, goodbye and thank you.